I,
I'm assuming that's strong.
one more year. Not four. We're not gonna have like the big main politicians. 4 more years, like 1 more year. You actually have, you can shame for you 4 more years.
I do, yeah. Unless I get traded.
We got a chance, so.
You know that little catcher that catches for the Blue Jays, if you're watching baseball or involved in baseball. His name's Alejandro Kirk. He's about 5'4" and has to weigh close to 250, but he's their catcher. He's knocked out 2 home runs in the series alone. He got picked up by the Jays in 2016 for $7,500 out of a Mexican league.
How great is that
It's
story?
like out of a movie.
Yeah, it's like,
It's like on a major
it's
league.
like, yeah. It's like, this can't happen.
Yeah.
Huh,
The
I
guy
didn't
who
know that
was
story.
the guy who was pitching for the Jays last night lives in an apartment and had to move out when he came down. Right, lives in, I'm sorry, put together a hotel room. And he has to move out of it when he leaves.
Nothing like being in the big leagues.
Yeah, exactly.
That is nice, to give us a little cheat sheet.
Yeah.
We do that at council show. It's helpful.
I told Kevin I don't do very much else these days.
Yeah.
Mike
shows that.
Mike does the heavy. Yeah. That clock up there is very accurate, so
It is accurate.
I tell most people this story, so I've maybe told you before, but there was one city council meeting where we had started the meeting, the mayor always goes off of that, but we had started the meeting and all of a sudden the hands just starts spinning like out of the twilight zone. So it must have gotten off by a couple seconds or something. It was resetting. So it was bizarre.
You just
Was
kind
it
of like,
around this time,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's, you're good.
Bill, do you have a remote that you can that's something?
Oh, that'd be
You could have a Groundhog Day deal there.
It's like, oops, just missed it. So,
Or before the mayor tried to straighten it once when it was crooked and it fell on the ground and it was flat. Luckily, it was just during a family.
oh. We're going to call a meeting to order. It is 9 o'clock. A current copy of the Open Meetings Act of Nebraska is posted on the wall at the back of the council chambers. Let's roll call.
Cubby? Here. Hi. Wilkie?
Here.
Rosca?
President?
Mendenhall?
Here.
Okay. First item is review and approval of minutes for July 10th.
I move to approve the minutes of the July 10th meeting.
Is there a second?
Second?
Any discussion? All right. Roll call.
Cubby?
yeah.
Wilkie?
Yes.
Rosca?
Yes.
Mendenhall?
Yes.
Okay, next item. First, good news. Joe has been appointed to another term, so Mr. Strosk is going to be here for at least 4 years, more years. So that's good.
5 years.
Another 5 years. 5-year time. There we go. Another 5 years. 5 more years. But we do need to act upon the reorganization for the election of chair and vice chair for the next year. Any discussion? Any motion?
I am fine to continue in the vice chair position if
I could continue here if everyone wants to.
you guys are agreeable to that.
I move we elect Greg as the chairman and Joe as the vice chairman.
And I'll second that.
Okay, roll call?
Debbie,
Yes.
Ty, Wilkie,
Yes.
DeRosa,
Yes.
Mendenhall.
Yes.
Okay, next item is review the Devco Housing Project, September 27th, 2025, Mulligan Meadow Redevelopment Plan. So, Mr. Bacon.
Chairman and members of the Redevelopment Authority, this is in redevelopment plans phase 2, but in Gary's projects is phase 4 and 5 to get more infrastructure into Mulligan Meadows. This is a Devco purchased and owned property, and they're going to hit $1 million to $1.5 million in eligible costs in getting infrastructure in to complete the project and add a number of lots for single and multifamily units. I'll let Gary talk about the number that goes in, but obviously you have a nonprofit developer here, and Gary takes his nonprofit status seriously and does need help to repay these funds. They'll borrow from the bank to put the infrastructure in the spring. There's another component to this, which is workforce housing, and if they get the cost per door under the 325, that's an eligible expense to go vertical and pay for construction of housing. The primary piece of this is going to be paying for the infrastructure development. There may or may not be enough TIF to help buy down and moderate the cost of those purchases. So that would be a second TIF note, if that is required to make those houses affordable. So the TIF is going to go first to getting street sewer, water, dirt work, and that sort of thing in place. And then if eligible and necessary, they can then allocate any excess TIF to cost buy down. We can't forecast in this disruptive time what's going to happen to housing prices. So that's an element of the plan. Doesn't mean that you lock and load right out of the gate, but that would be an eligible expense. So any other, this, you're at the point of making a recommendation to the council as to the plan, and secondly, adopting the cost benefit analysis, which goes through what's the impact on the city. You add about $8.5 million in valuation and a number of residences. Impact on the school, our current estimate based on housing units would be about 30 kids. If we have traditional families in all of those units. So you have had a lot of activity in housing, but you haven't had that many units hit the ground. And Devco has been getting houses on the ground. So I'll let Gary talk about the plan in terms of construction and how that's going and what it's going to look like. Probably glad to answer any procedural questions.
So timing wise, procedurally, this recommendation goes to council, then it comes back just like another.
Yeah,
TIF.
and we'll do the redevelopment contract and TIF issuance. They're not gonna incur any costs likely until spring to get the infrastructure in, so.
Okay.
CRA members, Gary Pearson, President, North Platte Chamber Development, 502 South Dewey. Originally, we'd hoped our master plan called for providing 51 single-family lots in this area, and to kind of build as we go, since we're doing this as on a kind of a nonprofit basis. Chamber Development wanted to do something for the north side, also to help meet the housing demand. Where we were successful in landing a lot of multifamily type housing, but we were very void of additional single family housing, and that's still the situation in North Platte. We've done a good job trying to recruit new developers here. Went through a lot of processes with the city to get a lot of new subdivisions in place, but the inventory is still not quite there. So this is filling a much needed gap at the present time. It's been successful in the fact that we've got 12, maybe 13 houses on the ground, and they're being sold rather quickly. And initially we were able to start selling. These are 3-bedroom, 2-bath, or a bath and a half, depending on the model, and 2-car garage. It's turnkey, fencing, landscaping, everything's kind of already in place when the homeowner buys it. Initial homes sold for about $260. The second phase, about $280 is what they've been selling for, and we're trying everything we can to keep the costs down. As a Chamber Development Corporation, we're absorbing almost all of the costs on the lots. We're basically selling them for $1,000 a piece to help Bonneville keep the prices down. We have enough infrastructure in place now where we have 29 in place. This plan will add 4 more lots on the southernmost part of the property that goes east and west, and leading over to where we want to put a multifamily complex, 3 fourplexes. We're working with the developer, Bonneville, and we're also working with a private contractor that will help finish it off when it's on the ground, build the other necessary infrastructure there, and then operate it. And at some point in time, they'll own that facility. This is part of the Nebraska Rural Workforce Housing Funds we were able to secure. And so that's a $1.8 million project we did not have in our original plan. And so it has a lot of additional infrastructure cost to it. Plus, there is a drainage ditch that goes across there. So had really good Chamber Development board members, committee members that helped us formulate this plan. Brandon Jones has been a huge part of that, as has Brent Berkland. And they've got a good plan in place to reroute that drainage canal there so we can put the multiplexes there. We figure it'll be a good feeder program also for the subdivision there. And then there's an additional north-south street along the River's Edge golf course boundary that will put an additional 16 lots in. So 20 new lots. Original plan we'd hope for 51, but we'll finish off with 49 single-family units, but that'll help us accommodate where 2 single-family units were originally proposed, that we'll be able to have a 12-plex there. So it's providing much-needed affordable, as affordable gets in today's world for new housing without any other types of subsidy. So it's market rate housing, and seems to be a really good demand for it. And we've got a great partner in this, and they're building as we go. And that's the reason we didn't want to put all the infrastructure in at once, because we have to figure out ways to pay for it. And you don't have revenue coming in, it's tough. So the only way we get additional revenue is to get more housing on there. And our whole goal in this thing is to break even. We had wonderful cooperation from 8 local banks that financed it, kind of out of community spirit. And so we're monitoring that as we go. So far, we've been able to catch up. We got a little bit of a debt. And like I said, the whole goal is just to break even in the end and provide some really nice housing for the north side of North Platte. Answer further questions if there's any.
So specifically on your schematic, the 3 fourplexes, are they in that lot 5 in that corner, like down where the ditch is rerouted? They're going right on that same tract?
Correct.
And then will there be additional multifamily
No.
planned? That's the multifamily right there.
That's it. Yeah. And we didn't have that in our original master plan. We'd kind of envisioned that from day one, that, you know, if we could find a potential investor to be willing to do that, it helps us move the increment more also. So that's part of the motive as well.
And with the Nebraska workforce housing, when you changed, are those within that plan? Do those have to be a certain rent limit?
Yes.
On
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, you can only expend so much money, and it has to meet the rural workforce housing fund standards. And so that's kind of a moving target as we go, so it kind of changes. But yeah, the whole idea is to keep the cost down, so those rents have a cap on them. The $1.8 million that we spent there, we got 1.19 from Nebraska Department of Economic Development. We have $610,000 of local funding that our partners contributed to it. And that's being loaned to them at a 3% interest rate. As we get that back, and we've got them on a very aggressive 7-year payback plan, as we accumulate money, it'll go back into a permanent loan fund. That's the way the state wants it structured in today's world. And that fund will be there perpetually for a long, long time in North Platte. And we can then reuse it for other types of housing projects. We're prioritizing any houses that are built in extreme blight or blighted property, just to help distressed neighborhoods with additional housing stock and improve what's there.
Well, the development thus far looks nice.
Thank you. Yeah,
It's filling in, and
they've done a nice job. And thanks to Brandon and Brent, they're also working with the golf course. They've got some drainage issues too, and we're trying to work in unison with them to make sure that, you know, we have a better plan in that part of the community.
great. Any other questions? Right, thank you. Okay. Brandon, do you want to talk anything about this project, or are you good?
I think we're good. I think it's pretty well covered here, so.
Great, all right, great, okay. All right. Let's move on to item 6. The actual resolution.
I move to approve Resolution 2025-5 as presented and authorize the chair and secretary to sign the resolution.
Is there a second?
A second.
Any additional discussion? Let's vote, roll call.
Covey?
Yes.
Ty?
Yes.
Wilkie?
Yes,
Roscoe?
Yes.
Mendenhall?
Yes.
okay. Next item, review and discuss DWIC Investments LLC Canteen Commons. And our person that knows all about this has had a surgery yesterday, so
Yeah. I wasn't sure I was gonna make it, but I'm doing actually really well. So.
that's great.
Oh, yeah, guys, gotta take it easy on me.
Just go ahead for
I've got
everybody.
weapons.
Not everybody may know you, so why don't you give your
Sure.
name and address
Yeah,
for everybody? So,
Charlie Berwick, 212 West Circle Drive here in North Platte.
great.
One of the 2 members of DeWick Investments.
Do you want to just give us kind of an update of, where the project's at now and what you foresee maybe timeline going forward?
Yeah, so I actually have a positive update, which is good because the last time we talked, I did not have a good positive update for you, Greg. We have been significantly delayed on plans. We still don't have finalized plans, but we are 1 page away, according to Dave Hahn, as of yesterday. So we just need to have a design for our drywall. So all the firewalls in between the apartments need a design that's missing or inadequate. I don't know which, but so that's the only thing Ryan Stearns needs to update. and we should be good to go. He said all the rest of the little or things that might need to be modified are very minor, and he could pass the final plans after he gets that design. So, so unfortunately, the reason why we've made no progress on this is because we don't have finalized plans. For those that have been kind of keeping track of the plans, we started doing a lot of dirt work, just moving, knock down all the trees, try to move as much dirt as we could last July, because we were days away from having finalized plans. And then that turned into weeks away, then months away, and then we're now 15 months. So it's been a really frustrating process. Unfortunately, we went with an architect who was knowingly was retiring and still accepted the job, and treated it like he was retiring, in my opinion. And so I would like to issue my apologies for this, this project. We were ready to go. I have a construction company, and we were ready to go. We had hired a whole bunch of extra people to get the process going. We had bids from most people, and we were in the process of moving, and then it's just been on hold. And so it's cost my construction company quite a bit of money because we had extra bodies for work that didn't exist. And we were pretty confident we were going to get the job since it was my project. And so yeah. So if you guys have any comments or questions or anything, I'm happy to answer, but it's been frustrating and largely out of my control, unfortunately.
If this one page is completed soon, like you think, what do you estimate to be your construction to start?
Sure. So just to give you an idea, if it gets completed, I'll just say it gets completed by Monday, which I don't expect that to be quite that quick, because this whole project hasn't moved quite that fast. So just say it was, complete on Monday. It's going to take a few days for Dave to to approve it. Typically it takes 2 to 3 weeks to get bids from everybody. We should be on the fast side, because we've already talked with Brandon and Joe and a bunch of the contractors that'll be doing some of the work, so they don't have to recreate the wheel. They just need to kind of update their pricing because most of it hasn't changed. But we're looking at, December 15th, probably by the time we'll have everything back, would be my guess. So at that point, we're looking for, as soon as the ground is thawed, we'll get started. So hopefully, late February, early March timeframe, kind of weather dependent, of course, but we'll be ready to go. The funding's in place. The funding's been sitting, could have left it where it was and made a little bit more money, could have paid for a good chunk of the project if I left it in the stock market over the last year, but it's been sitting in a bank account earning 2% interest. So the funding's there. We're ready to go. Just gotta get it going.
So the project has it changed from what we approved as far as pretty much it's just the details of the plan. It's going to look pretty much like what was approved.
Yeah. There's no significant changes. We flipped the building 90 degrees for the sub where the substation for the electrical is going in. Just that saved us about $50,000 of cost just to rotate the building. But from an aesthetics standpoint, there might be a minor change because of that, but otherwise no structural changes. And that's really the frustrating part. Is a year ago we had the plans 90% done, and then a year later we're 99% done. And with no significant structural changes, no changes to the number of units or anything like that. The only change is that we're gonna build, just from a timing standpoint, to get this up as fast as possible. We're gonna build one building first in full, get all 14 units occupied, or at least renovated and finished, and then get that renting and then start building on the second one. Versus our original plan was just to do all the dirt work at once, do all the framing at once, and then start working individually. But we're just going to get one building up. It should save us a few months of at least getting more people in quicker. So, because we know what I've been talking with the chamber, and they've been kind, but they're like, we really need housing.
Yeah.
So we're trying to just move it along as fast as possible. So try to get it finalized. We'll do one and then one instead of kind of getting the frames done. We were going to get all the exterior work done all at once. But so minor change to the construction details.
Any other questions for Mr. Berwick? Mike?
This will require, minor modification to the redevelopment contract, just dates set in there and some other things, so especially if you phase it, we need to look at lot layouts and that sort of thing to maximize, because your likely increment is going to be different at different times, so we'll have to take a look at that.
Okay.
I can get with Charlie and see what that impact is, and back to the board, we'll have a meeting coming up, on various plans. Try and see.
Address it then.
See meetings, yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. Thank you.
Anything additional?
No,
Okay,
thanks for being here.
yeah, thank you guys.
Okay. Did really good. Any other business this morning? Okay. We're adjourned. Oh, I get to this. There we go.
Pretty much finalized, we haven't adopted it yet, but we can have it adopted. And then I've got, we should have, and then I've got, the county comp plan,